Another big day in the Maxwell Anderson homicide trial as phone records, surveillance, and DNA were the focus.
And we're here with legal expert, criminal defense attorney Jonathan LaVoy from the law firm Kim and LaVoy. Thanks for being here again. Okay, we finally get a DNA hit of Sade Robinson. It's on Maxwell Anderson's sweatshirt, one of the pieces of clothing that was dumped in a neighbor's trash can. What was your take on the importance of that DNA evidence?
It's moderately important. We know that they were together all night. It's not that shocking that her DNA would have been somehow on his clothing. The bigger issue here is that there's simply no DNA of any blood or any of the potential issues that would have happened in the house. And that's just, it's missing from the state's case, and it's a problem.
I thought the bigger issue is where they found that sweatshirt, because it was dumped in a neighbor's trash can with their DNA evidence. I mean, why would it end up there?
Who knows? There's a lot of questions that are unanswered today, and that's the issue that we're dealing with right now.
Yeah, and that neighbor, in fact, happened to be on vacation, which, that begged some other questions. So much today, it just seemed kind of this monotonous thing, but it was put on the road of Robinson's car right around 1 a.m. We know that was several hours after the first date with Sade Robinson. Any concrete evidence about that car driving around where they were trying to connect the dots? Because the whole hook is, you couldn't really make anything out. It was like this silhouette. It wasn't like they've got Anderson in the car.
Right, here's my take on it. So we know that there's not any evidence of any likely homicide or mutilation in the home, so it likely happened after the fact. And we have this car driving around for hours and hours and hours. So it begs the question, when did this mutilation occur? Because we have a lot of time of this car driving around the city. There had to have been some amount of time for this mutilation to occur. So there's some problems that the state has to answer here.
What I thought the state was successful at today, and I thought this was a big deal, they finally able to kind of complete the timeline, because it appears their case, they're going minute by minute. There's so much video evidence from the moment the date starts to when body parts start washing up on shore. And I thought, due to the surveillance video, I mean, the state is trying to say, it has to be Maxwell Anderson. It could not be anyone else based off all of the video evidence of the timeline that I thought they were able to complete today.
That's exactly right. The state, that's the whole case. They don't have the crime scene. So they're putting together a case that it couldn't have been anyone else because there wasn't anyone else involved. And they can pinpoint the whereabouts of the car and the phone the entire time. And then, of course, him leaving the burning car and getting on the bus. They're going to say, who else could have done this? What other explanation is there?
Yeah, they're trying to draw a lot of doubts there. Why did the state spend so much time on the bloody gloves if they didn't come back to Maxwell Anderson? I mean, there was a big chunk of time spent on that.
It didn't really help either side. That gloves ended up becoming nothing. I think the state wanted to take the wind out of the defense sails. I think the defense wanted to use those gloves to say, look, there's another explanation. But at the end of the day, no DNA from either party.
Right, so that was the big thing. I mean, not Maxwell Anderson or Sade Robinson. Right. So who knows whose gloves those were?
It was probably not related to this at all. So I think it just was something to take the wind out of the defense sails.
Yeah. Okay, Jonathan LaVoy, don't go anywhere because I know you're coming back for FOX6 News at 10. So I appreciate your time. Really interesting stuff here.